Story 1 of 10. Australia's 2026 federal budget. Tax reforms, housing, and economic challenges. Australia's 2026 federal budget, tax reforms, housing, and economic challenges. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Treasurer Jim Chalmers delivered the 2026 federal budget on May 12, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. AST. The budget includes changes to negative gearing, restricting it to new builds only from July 1, 2027, with grandfathering for existing properties. The 50% capital gains tax, CGT discount, will be replaced with an inflation-based indexation system starting July 1, 2027, with a minimum 30% tax rate on gains. The government expects the tax changes to help 75,000 Australians buy their first home over the next decade. A new $250 annual tax offset for 13.3 million working Australians will start from July 2027. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian and ABC report that the budget includes a $250 tax offset for workers starting in 2027-28, but The Age and News.com.au state it starts from July 2027. The Guardian and News.com.au state the budget includes $2 billion for local infrastructure to support 65,000 new homes, while ABC and The Age mention $2 billion for infrastructure but do not specify the exact number of homes. The Guardian and News.com.au report that the budget includes $5.9 billion for PBS listings. But ABC and The Age do not mention this specific figure. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian, News.com.au, Sydney Morning Herald, and The Age.
Story 2 of 10. US President Trump's summit with China's Xi Jinping amid Iran war and trade tensions. US President Trump's summit with China's Xi Jinping amid Iran war and trade tensions. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Donald Trump is visiting China for a two-day summit with Xi Jinping starting May 13, 2026, marking the first US presidential visit since 2017. The summit includes a state dinner on Thursday night and a tea meeting on Friday before Trump departs. Trump is accompanied by top US executives including Tim Cook, Apple, Elon Musk, Tesla, and CEOs from Boeing, Citi, and other major companies. The war in Iran, particularly the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, is a major topic of discussion, with Trump stating he does not need China's help to end the conflict. Trump has repeatedly stated that Iran cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon, calling it his top priority. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC reports Trump said he would not ask Xi to intervene in the Iran war, while The Guardian reports Trump has sought China's help to convince Tehran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. ABC states, Trump claimed inflation was 1.7% before Operation Epic Fury, while The Guardian notes broader economic data shows inflation rising after tariffs were imposed, contradicting Trump's selective claim. The Guardian reports Trump's delegation includes NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang, but ABC and other Guardian articles state Huang is not attending the trip. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.
Story 3 of 10. UK Labor Party suffers heavy losses in 2026 local elections. Starmer faces leadership pressure. UK Labor Party suffers heavy losses in 2026 local elections. Starmer faces leadership pressure. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Labor lost over 1,400 council seats in England in the 2026 local elections. Guardian, ABC, News.com. Reform UK gained over 600 council seats, taking control of Suffolk, Essex and Newcastle under Lyme. ABC, Guardian, News.com. Labor lost control of the Welsh Senedd for the first time since its establishment in 1999. Guardian, ABC, News.com. The elections were held on May 8, 2026, marking the biggest electoral test for Starmer since Labor's 2024 general election victory. Guardian, ABC, News.com. Nigel Farage claimed the results showed a truly historic shift in British politics. Guardian, ABC, News Kamau. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian initially reported Labor could lose up to 2,000 council seats, but later, revised estimates suggested losses closer to 100 to 400, while News Kamau reported nearly 200 losses by Friday evening. The Guardian states Labor lost control of at least 8 councils, while News Kamau reports Labor lost 27 councils by Friday evening. The Guardian mentions Labor lost 16 of 17 seats in Angela Rayner's Greater Manchester area, while ABC does not specify exact seat losses in her constituency. This story was covered by ABC News, The Guardian and news.com.au.
Story 4 of 10. Stephen May's AFL retirement due to mental breakdown and related controversies. Stephen May's AFL retirement due to mental breakdown and related controversies. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Stephen May revealed a mental breakdown led to his abrupt AFL retirement in March 2026, just weeks before the season. May played 251 career AFL games, 128 for Melbourne, 123 for Gold Coast. May is now playing local football with East Ringwood in 2026. All charges against May and Richmond midfielder Dion Prestia for an alleged brawl in Sorrento, December 27, 2024, were dropped. May described pre-season as something he really hates and cited it as part of his emotional state before retirement, but not all outlets told the same story. The ABC article does not mention James Hird's hospitalisation, while The Age reports it as a separate story. The ABC article does not mention Luke Hodges' resignation from the All-Australian panel, while The Age includes it as a significant development. The ABC article does not mention the Magpies' injuries, Darcy Cameron, Bobby Hill, etc., while The Age provides detailed updates on their absence. This story was covered by ABC News and The Age.
Story 5 of 10. US author Kouri Richins sentenced for murdering husband after writing grief-themed children's book. US author Kouri Richins sentenced for murdering husband after writing grief-themed children's book. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Kouri Richins, 35, is set to be sentenced on May the 13th, 2026, local time, for aggravated murder of her husband, Eric Richins, who would have turned 44 that day. Richins was convicted in March 2026 of aggravated murder for poisoning Eric Richins with 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in 2022 at their home near Park City, Utah. Richins faces a sentence of 25 years to life, or life without parole for aggravated murder, with prosecutors seeking life without parole. Richins was also convicted of 4 other felonies, including attempted murder for poisoning Eric Richins with a fentanyl-laced sandwich on Valentine's Day, 2022, which caused him to break out in hives and pass out. Richins had taken out multiple life insurance policies on her husband without his knowledge, falsely believing she would inherit his estate worth over $4 million, $5.5 million. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC article states the youngest son is now 9, while the Guardian article says he was still in preschool when his father died, implying he is now older than 9. The ABC article mentions the youngest son said he would be so scared if his mother were released, while the Guardian article quotes him saying, "Once she is gone, I will feel happy and I will feel safer and relaxed and trust people more." The ABC article notes the defense argued Eric Richins was addicted to painkillers, while prosecutors countered with body camera footage, showing Richins claimed her husband had no history of illicit drug use. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.
Story 6 of 10. Federal government cuts 3 year funding for Invictus Australia, risking veteran mental health support. Federal government cuts 3 year funding for Invictus Australia, risking veteran mental health support. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The federal government cut $3 million per year in funding to Invictus Australia, ending a $9 million over 3-year grant that began in the 2022-23 budget. Invictus Australia CEO Michael Hartung stated the organisation was not informed of the funding cut before the budget was announced on May 13, 2026. Invictus Australia supports veterans with injuries and mental health conditions, including PTSD, anxiety and depression, through sport and rehabilitation programs. The Invictus Games were launched by Prince Harry in 2014, with Australia hosting the event in 2018 in Sydney. Veteran and Invictus Games athlete Vanessa Brookhill stated that 6 veterans die by suicide in Australia each month, attributing some cases to lack of support. But not all outlets told the same story. ABC states the funding cut was worth almost $3 million per year, while Newscom.au does not specify the exact annual amount but confirms the $9 million over 3 years was not renewed. ABC includes a direct quote from Matt Keogh thanking Invictus Australia and mentioning future opportunities, while Newscom.au states Keogh's office was contacted for comment but does not provide a direct quote or confirmation. This story was covered by ABC News and news.com.au.
Story 7 of 10. NSW Labor Grants Scheme Inquiry calls it an election slush fund. NSW Labor Grants Scheme Inquiry calls it an election slush fund. Here's what every outlet agrees on. The Local Small Commitments Allocation, LSCA, program allocated $400,000 per electorate for community projects, totaling $37 million across 93 electorates. Greens MLC Abigail Boyd, chair of the Public Accountability and Works Committee, described the LSCA program as a publicly funded Labor Party election slush fund. In the report released May 13, 26, the inquiry found the New South Wales Premier's Department unlawfully redirected $6.4 million from originally promised projects, breaching program guidelines. The inquiry accused Special Minister of State John Graham of misleading Parliament and breaching ministerial obligations, including claims that all commitments were made before the 2023 election. The inquiry alleged former Kogarah MP Cherie Burton and staffer Paul Mills made false statements under oath and should be considered for prosecution. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states the inquiry found the Premier's office unlawfully moved $6.4 million of project funding, while The Guardian frames it as unlawfully redirected $6.4 million away from projects originally nominated. Both align but differ slightly in phrasing. The ABC notes the dissenting government members called the report a blatant abuse of committee process, while The Guardian does not explicitly quote this phrase but includes their broader criticism of the inquiry's methods. The ABC mentions the use of Signal and other disappearing apps to avoid compliance with orders for documents, while The Guardian does not explicitly mention Signal but focuses on the broader allegations of obstruction. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.
Story 8 of 10. Li Lai wins 2026 Stella Prize for graphic novel Canon, historic first for the award. Li Lai wins 2026 Stella Prize for graphic novel Canon, historic first for the award. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Li Lai won the 2026 Stella Prize for her graphic novel Canon. The Stella Prize is worth $60,000. Canon is the first graphic novel to win the Stella Prize in its 14-year history. Li Lai is the first non-binary person to win the Stella Prize. The Stella Prize ceremony took place in Brisbane on May 13, 2026. But not all outlets told the same story. The ABC states Li Lai is based in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal, while The Guardian only mentions Montreal without the Indigenous place name. The ABC describes Canon's grandfather as a former tyrant enfeebled by age, while The Guardian does not explicitly use the word tyrant. The ABC notes Li Lai's agent struggled to pitch Canon due to limited visual acquisitions, while The Guardian does not mention this specific challenge. This story was covered by ABC News and The Guardian.
Story 9 of 10. New South Wales police drop charges against Sydney protesters due to unconstitutional protest laws. New South Wales police drop charges against Sydney protesters due to unconstitutional protest laws. Here's what every outlet agrees on. New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon announced on ABC Radio, May 13, 2026, that charges laid under the Public Assembly Restriction Declaration Part D law will be dropped pending review. The New South Wales Court of Appeal ruled the PARD law unconstitutional on April 2026, finding it unlawfully extended police powers to restrict public gatherings for 90 days after the Bondi Beach terror attack. The February 2026 protest at Sydney Town Hall was against the visit of Israeli President Isaac Herzog to Australia. Police blocked a planned march during the protest, leading to multiple arrests and charges for alleged breaches of police directions, assaulting police, offensive behaviour, and throwing objects. The Bondi Beach terror attack in December 2025 killed 15 people and injured over 40 during a Hanukkah celebration. But not all outlets told the same story. Newscom states that 29 additional protesters were charged after the rally, while The Guardian states 30 protesters were charged in total. Newscom mentions that charges for alleged breaches of police instructions may fall within the scope of the invalidated PARD framework, while The Guardian does not explicitly mention this detail. This story was covered by The Guardian and news.com.au.
Story 10 of 10. Australia joins UK-France-led mission to reopen Strait of Hormuz with Wedgetail aircraft. Australia joins UK-France-led mission to reopen Strait of Hormuz with Wedgetail aircraft. Here's what every outlet agrees on. Australia will contribute its E-7A Wedgetail aircraft to a UK-France-led multinational military mission in the Strait of Hormuz. Defence Minister Richard Marles stated Australia supports collective diplomatic, economic and military capabilities to support freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. The Wedgetail was initially deployed to the UAE in March 2026 for a 4-week period, with its deployment later extended. The mission is described as independent and strictly defensive and excludes the US. The Strait of Hormuz has been closed or heavily restricted since the US-Israel assault in February 2026. But not all outlets told the same story. The Guardian states the Wedgetail deployment was extended once and likely to remain in the region for some time, while Newscom does not specify the number of extensions. This story was covered by The Guardian and news.com.au.